Here we go again. It feels like deja vu. It feels like Groundhog's Day because you have heard this story before. Tech company comes out on earnings day. They say tremendous opportunity for what? AI. And then what do you think happens? The stock jumps 32% just because of that. That's it. And today, the name of the game is a company called Marvell. Now, I don't know every single company in the stock market. Okay, there are thousands of them out there, but this ain't one that was on my radar, and I'm pretty sure most of y'all haven't heard about it either. Now, I could be wrong, but this feels a little unjustified to me, and this is why I say it's gonna have to be a bubble somewhere, because the jumps, the gaps that we see overnight don't match the results of a lot of these companies. Now, Nvidia could be an outlier. I hope it is, because that's where my money is. And maybe Micron or Intel or whoever else. There are going to be some companies that are obviously going to be okay because they have a long track record of doing so. But some of these companies are not, because we've seen this over and over and over again. Earlier today, we had our book club meeting about the intelligent investor. I don't have the page on me exactly, but basically what it was saying is, I think it was chapter 4 if I'm mistaken, but in either case, it talked about how new companies that basically you have never heard of are outpacing and outgrowing, are more valuable than companies that have been here for decades. And in the case of Nvidia, I said, yeah, I think Nvidia is a good company. I think they're solid. I'm holding them now. I'm going to hold them for the long term. I'm going to continue holding to Nvidia for what I hope to be several more years. I hope it continues to grow for several more years. But do I think that in a single day it is worth all of Nike on top of what it was already worth? Like, was it supposed to do that in a day? Let's just look at it like that. Like, really, you just absorb the entire value of Nike or of Disney or of Netflix in a single day? That's wild, right? Like, Nvidia is coming up on $1 trillion company. I think they were going to be $1 trillion company at some point, but to go from 700 and whatever it was, 780 billion, and then you're going to add another 180 billion in a single day, that's a lot. So with this one, with Marvell in this case, I want to kind of illustrate that a bit more and show you why I am, let's say, I have an eyebrow raised, okay? And I'm not saying that Marvell is a bad stock. This is my first time hearing of it, okay? So I'm not saying it's a bad stock at all, but I want to show you that a 32% gain in a single day just feels a little off, and here's why. So let's go ahead and look at their revenue. This is a revenue, how much money they made, and their net income. This is after they have paid all those bills. So this is 2019 all the way to where we are in 2023. Now look at this. Net income, negative, right? You lost 178 million. 2020 seems to be an outlier. You made 1.58 billion. That's great. And then lose money, lose even more money, and then you lost money so far at this point in time. Now, revenue is going up. You're making more money, but you're still not profitable. And yes, there is a tremendous opportunity for AI, and I believe them. You're in the semiconducting space. AI is out there, and I think it is a thing. Like, I don't think AI is like the metaverse. I think AI is a real thing. We do use it, and we've been using it for years, but it's more popular now. But based on what we see, right, the company has been unprofitable in all but 1 year. Should it have gained 32% in a day? Those two things don't really match up, and it's going to be hard to evaluate the company and say how much you should actually pay for it. Now, if you also look at here, yeah, their revenue was up another 32%. Their net income was up 61%. That's great. You're still negative, but that's great. And across the board, like, things were pretty good. I also want to look at their cash flow here, and this is mixed. Right? Now, this is great for 2023. Now, if anything, I would be excited about their 2023 cash flow. I'm looking again here, cash from investing and everything else. Free cash flow, which what I love, is up 119%, 119.96. Here's the thing, though. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. You have 3 out of the 5 years were great. How do I estimate what this is going to be in the future? Like, sure, AI is a thing. It could be a, quote, tremendous opportunity. But can I expect and predict 111% growth for the next 3 years? Can I do that? If so, then yeah, it might be worth buying, right? But, like, is that realistic? Is it realistic to count on 100% growth again and again? And what happens if, yeah, you grew 100% this time, but then next year it's only 25%, which is great, but you know how the stock market can be. This is how the stock market treated Netflix last year, the first half of last year. We said, hey, look, we are still growing. We're just not growing at 25% you're used to. This is what I'm concerned about, where yes, this company could be on the right track, or maybe not, we'll see. But how do you evaluate something and get a regular baseline when you are used to, or you invested when a company was up 111% in free cash flow? So hey, we made more money. We were great during this one period in time when everybody was talking about AI. What happens next year? We move on from AI and talk about whatever the next great thing is going to be, because that's the pattern. Okay, AI is still here. It will still be here in 2024. But when it's out of the buzzworthiness, right, and we talk about the next big thing, what's going to happen to this company then, right? What happens when this tremendous opportunity just becomes the norm? I don't have to answer that question yet, because obviously this all happened today. But this is what you want to be careful of. Should you have a stock that has their foot in AI? I absolutely think you should. Maybe Marvell is one of those. Maybe it's Nvidia, Microsoft, Alphabet, whatever it is. You probably already have some already. You probably don't know. But you got to be careful, because is it really, really justified in a single day? It's hard to call. And then most importantly, and this is where I want you to get as an investor, it is hard, because this is what we're doing here. As investors, we're looking at the past results. I'm looking at 2023, 22, 21, go all the way back to 2019 in this case, and say, hey, look, based on what I've seen, this is where I think you are going to go. And in 2025 or 2026, you had better be there, right? So when you invest, it's really planting a seed. It is what I think right now, where I think you're going to be in the future. The only reason I continue to hold Nvidia, or Apple for that matter, or O'Reilly for that matter, is because back in 2020, back in 2021, I thought that they were going to be more valuable. Was it because of AI? No, it was not. But I thought they were going to be more valuable because the past has shown that. We need to figure out if this is going to be the truth for a company like this, or any company you are looking for. And as you're investing in whatever it is you are investing in, come and look at the results like this and take a somber look and say, hey, look, is it really worth that extra 32%? Like, is that justified? Or is this just a one-time pop and then tomorrow it's going to fall off a cliff? These are questions you have to really ask for yourself. And speaking of questions that you have to ask for yourself, one, you might want to join our book club, because we do have these types of discussions in terms of the intelligent investor. Also, I noticed that our lighting feels like the Miami Hurricanes. I'm not a Hurricanes fan, but I noticed that. But I will tell you this though. Insider members only, we're going to drop 2 videos or 2 pieces of content this weekend. We're going to talk a little bit about Marvell and breaking this down. We're going to talk a little bit about Nvidia and what we expect to happen as well, and how we can use all this information to give us a good measuring stick on what we should be doing and what you should be doing, and how to apply this to your own portfolio. Because as we've learned in the Intelligent Investor, I'm going to see if I can find the quote real quick, is that, yeah, I've said this more than once before, it does matter what you pay for things, but you have to have a limit. You have to have a limit when you're investing. It's one of the 4 rules that they have in the book around how to invest and how to choose your own portfolio. How you choose what that limit is going to be is totally up to you, but you have to say, like, hey, you made 111% more this year. I like it, but I'm not paying more than $60 a share, or whatever that number is going to be, based on how I have calculated your value. So insider members only tonight, I will likely pull together an analysis for this to come up with what I think the company is valued and whether or not it's worth even getting into. And then we'll talk a little bit more about Nvidia as well, and talk about where we need to be as investors and how we really sort out all the noise and all the hype, because this is going to continue to happen for the foreseeable future in 2023. Okay, there's going to be a lot of people just throwing out the words AI just to get a pop in the stock, because remember, these CEOs get paid. They primarily get paid because of how the stock performs. I don't know about y'all, but the CEO of Alphabet got paid $200 million in a single year. And it's primarily based on bonuses and how well the stock performed. So be careful, right? Be careful, because it ain't your money, right? But you do want to make sure that you're investing in something that's going to make you money, and particularly over the long term. All right, that is it for me. I will talk to y'all on Monday. Yes, Monday. Monday's a holiday. I say Monday right now. We'll see what happens. But I say that because someone asked a question about T-bills and treasuries and all that stuff. I want to make sure that I y'all ask a question, I want to make sure I honor it and answer that question, because that's what I do. All right. This has been a long video. At the end, the last thing I'm going to ask y'all for is this. If you have made it this far, then I need you to vote for me for the Plutus Awards. Okay, this is the highest award in personal finances, like the Oscars. We talk about it every year. We got 3 of them things. That's nice. So I'll put the link in the comments below. I'm actually hosting an award, so that'll be fun. But vote for your boy. I'll put the categories below. I'll put the link below. I would greatly appreciate it. All right, that is it for me. Finally, I will talk to y'all on Monday. Bye.